Good afternoon. Today I will be giving you an update on the COVID-19 data for Orland Park, talking about the Brewfest changes and why we made them, and giving a brief update on Halloween. First, let's start with a coronavirus update. So as you can see, the cases in Illinois are staying relatively flat for the last month and a half, but up from where they were in June. As noted, they're not really a reliable indicator, as evidenced by the spike on Friday, September 4th, right before Labor Day. That spike coincided with 3 times as much testing that was reported. If you look at our daily testing percentages, you'll see they're well below the governor's new threshold of 8% that he's stated, and they've stayed that way. In fact, they've been below 5% except for 2 days since June. Hospitalizations due to COVID, as we've talked about, are the key statistic because we were trying to protect the hospital. That's remained steady and low since mid-June, as you can see. Daily cases here in Orland Park have stayed relatively flat. When you look at the 14-day rolling average, while testing has increased dramatically during that time, you'll see our number of cases are very flat over that time. The spread of COVID in Orland Park has continued to slow. At the current rate, it will take over 180 days for it to double. If you look at this chart, the most recent doubling is 85 days. Before that, it was 66, and below that, it was 22. As epidemiologists and infectious disease specialists would tell you, they look for this to slow the spreading and the number of days to double the cases, to slow down, and that's what's been happening, so that shows that we continue to make progress. The other thing that's interesting is we've made that progress in spite of being open and in spite of the state of Illinois returning to more mobility than it had in April. Back in April, according to University of Washington, about 55% less travel than normal, and now it's only 17% less than normal. So people are still staying home a little bit more than normal, but we're much closer to normal activity level, and we've still seen cases stay flat. Hospitalizations have remained low. If you look at Region 10, which is our region, according to the state, our numbers look pretty good with test positivity, medical surge beds, ICU beds, all looking positive. So again, our hospital system's in great shape. Overall, Orland Park, in spite of being a very active community with an above average age and more vulnerable population, has done an outstanding job, and we have 15% less cases than suburban Cook County, and as you can see, our case rate per 100,000 is less than the state, it's less than the Cook County, and certainly less than Chicago. Remember that all the steps we took were to protect our hospital system. What we know is that our hospital system, by its normal standards, is empty, and COVID is not straining it in any way, with COVID cases being flat for over 3 months in suburban Cook County hospitals. The data and science are clear. It is time to open. Saying that it's time to open does not mean that this virus isn't real and that it isn't dangerous, especially for certain parts of our population. What it means is that humankind has learned to live with dangerous viruses effectively as we have evolved. We know that hygiene and sanitation are the most important things that we can do to keep viruses under control. Also, humankind has known that we spread viruses the most when we have the viruses and have symptoms of the virus. We've known this for many years. In other words, stay at home when you are sick and isolate yourself from others when you are sick. After over 7 million cases in the U.S., we have yet to see any data or science that suggests that this virus spreads differently than any other virus mankind has ever seen. I don't think this is surprising since we have been studying viruses for centuries. It is also not even close to the most deadly virus mankind has ever seen. COVID-19 is still a virus that can be and often is serious and deadly. So please, use common sense and make sure that you use the precautions that science has known for centuries help slow the spread. Practice good hygiene and good sanitation. Since the beginning of this crisis, we have all heard threat after threat from the governor's office. Residents, businesses, municipalities, and mayors have been threatened by DCEO and the Illinois Liquor Commissioners. We have also witnessed rollbacks based on arbitrary test percentages that had a severe impact on our neighbors. We have asked on several occasions for the legislature to do its job. In the few days that they did go back to work, they passed a new liquor law that allowed businesses to, among other things, deliver to outdoor events and also to serve certain other events. The governor signed that law. According to our attorneys, this law allows us to host Taste of Orland and concerts at Centennial West with the vendors using the rules from that law. We did so safely, and there have been no case spikes from this or any of our other events. 3 weeks ago, he decided to send the Illinois Liquor Commission agents to Orland Park. It became clear that he would target our Brewfest event, so we decided to postpone it until we could review how we could conduct it and protect everyone involved. In the meantime, the State Liquor Commission sent as many as 5, yes, 5 agents to businesses involved in the taste that we know of so far, including Beggar's Pizza, Papa Joe's, and Square Kelp. They photographed everything, asked for receipts back to 2018, and asked many questions about the Taste of Orland and about Brewfest. They also issued at least 1 ticket and let others know they would be fined. We are still waiting to hear the outcome from those visits. This is galling, sending 5 people to actively attack our businesses. What a waste of resources. There is rioting and looting been going on throughout the state, and the state has failed to protect people or businesses. This is what they waste their time on? How many state workers are still being paid for doing nothing? Personally, I am tired of the state of Illinois ruling by intimidation and fear. It is unacceptable. I feel the same now as I have since the beginning. If our residents, businesses, and elected officials are afraid of our state government, and I believe many are, then we owe it to them to fight for them. The majority of our board agreed to an approach based on facts and information, following the Constitution and giving people the freedom of choice. We have done what we can to support residents, visitors, and businesses. Specifically, we opened parks before the state. We opened gyms before the state. We opened preschool for in-person learning while our local public schools did not. We allowed children and adult sports to play on our fields, including tournaments. We voted to adopt our plan and followed the metrics and actual data, which allowed us to fully open on July 20th. We hosted Taste of Orland, 8 markets on the park, 2 concerts in the park, 2 concert nights at Centennial Park West, and drive-in movies. We have done all of this, and the data shows no case spikes, and a healthcare system that has a lot of capacity. In short, we have informed people and trusted them. As you have heard me say many times, it is easy to cave in and cancel everything. It is harder to solve the problem and determine how to do things safely. The Village of Orland Park will not be intimidated by the moving goalposts. We view the attacks on Brewfest as just another obstacle, and we have found another path forward from the laws that were passed by the legislature. Unfortunately, we could not exercise that option with a 2-day notice, so we postponed the Brewfest. Therefore, since it sold out quickly with very little marketing, we can host it for 2 straight nights to allow more people to enjoy the event. Again, we decided to solve the problem, turn lemons into lemonade, and bring a fun event to more Orland Park residents. I also want to point out that the entire board agreed to these changes. I want to thank all of them. This is another positive step forward for the residents and businesses of Orland Park. I look forward to seeing you at the Brewfest. The board also unanimously passed our plan for Halloween. The details are on this slide, but I will summarize. If you want to participate, please do and use common sense. It has become fairly normal that if you are not participating, please leave your porch light off. If you do want to participate, then leave your light on. Additionally, we have created a sign you can print off and put in your window that can also be used to let trick-or-treaters know that you are not participating. I ask everyone to respect everyone's personal decisions whether they are participating or not. Please allow parents, children, and residents to create the memories that they want to create for themselves, whether it's through participation or not. May everyone who chooses to partake enjoy Halloween on October 31st from 2 to 8 p.m. Thank you very much, and have a great fall.